So after the Lions lost in last year's playoffs, they are now 67 years without a championship. So basically, the theory entering last year was that it could end at 66 at the beginning of last season because its title, that's gematria of the Super Bowl being played at the Caesars Superdome. And now it's at 67. And 67 is basically the trade involving the Los Angeles Rams. So the Lions are now 67 seasons without a championship. It's going to be 68 seasons without a championship. Next year, there'll be 68 years without a championship, and that's when the Lions are going to finally win a championship and play in their first ever Super Bowl. 68 is the big championship number in gematria. Likewise, this same championship gematria is going to be very favorable to the Detroit Tigers. So now, at the moment, the Detroit Tigers are not going to be in the wild card round, so they get a first round bye. So 3 wins in the divisional round, in the divisional series, gets them to 64 wins. And then 4 wins in the pennant series, they'll enter the World Series with 68 playoff wins in franchise history. And I think they will be up against the Mets with 27 prior playoff series. The Mets is 27. The Tigers' last championship was in 1984 when they beat the Padres. It's Padres, that's gematria 27. This guy right there has to be broken down. It's gematria. It's funny how these things work. It's Hinch, that's gematria 33, and he's manager of the Tigers, and Tigers is gematria 33, and the Tigers won the championship in 1984. And again, the New York gematria, that's where we're getting the Tigers up against New York in the World Series. Now, Tigers equaling 39 in gematria. It's also the Lions, that's 39, and I believe the Lions are going to be playing in the Super Bowl on the 39th day of 2026. So that's what that's about right there. It's also Michigan, that's 64, so the Tigers will get the 64 playoff wins. We'll see who that will be against. A team, I presume, in wild card contention. If Gleyber Torres beats the Yankees, the New York Yankees is 64. The Tigers can put an end to the Yankee season. Even if the Yankees don't win the division, they'll still be a wild card team. You know, if it is Toronto that's winning the division instead, for example. So that is the setup. That is the setup. The Blue Jays is 61. The Tigers have 61 playoff wins right now. Do they play against a division-winning Toronto Blue Jays if they do happen to win the division? And if they play against the Astros in the pennant series, then they'll get to 66 playoff wins against the Houston Astros, of course, with 2 more wins remaining. But we have to look at A.J. Hinch's playoff record. And don't forget he won the championship on the Astros during their asterisk championship. He managed the Diamondbacks before winning the World Series. It's Arizona, that's the gematria of the Tigers' last championship in 1984. And Arizona's gematria of Tigers. And today he's managing the Detroit Tigers. He hit 112 RBIs in his big league career, and he managed the Houston Astros to an asterisk championship. Houston's 32, and he had 32 home runs in his big league career, and he managed the Tigers. It's Tiger, that's gematria 32. But what I'm looking at is AJ Hinch's playoff record. 32 wins. So you do the math. 7 wins gets him to 39 playoff wins. He's back in the World Series. And 39 is his first managerial job in the major leagues with Arizona. Again, Arizona's 39. And of course, it's Tigers, that's 39. And let's say if the Tigers do win the championship, then AJ Hinch is going to win his 43rd playoff game and champions 43. So he's going for a 43rd win in the postseason by making it to the World Series. And if he gets to 11 playoff wins, New York is the 11th state. So it is looking like the Tigers are going to get to 39 playoff wins, and they're going to be up against Juan Soto and the Mets, who have... It's been 39 years since they last won the World Series when we're talking about the New York Mets. Let's see, 0-1. That's four. That's 3-1. Okay, that's 3-1 series record like Houston. And then it's 4-2 like Diamondbacks. 6-3. Losing to Washington. 6-4. His postseason series record as manager is going to be 8-4 when he wins the pennant. 84 again is Arizona, his first managerial job. 84 is also Camacho the Tigers' last title in 84. So this is the breakdown of AJ Hinch making it to the World Series. He's 1-1 in the World Series. He could fall to 1-2 in the World Series, losing against the Mets. It's Mets. That's 12, and again, Screwball and company may not be enough. Gleyber Torres could see a return to the World Series. I can't fully break down Gleyber Torres' record just yet. Okay, I've got to do the full name. I've got to do the full name of this guy. Andrew J. Hinch is Camacho of Detroit's last title against the Padres. And you know Padres is 63. Hinch is 42 and the World Series could be at New York City. So, in the Tigers' last championship came against the Padres. The Padres is also 42. So this is tying in 68 as the championship number for Detroit. So all-time playoff record, they're at 24 playoff games. The Detroit Lions right now, 24 is Camacho Lions. I think they'll win the NFC in their 27th playoff game to make it to the Super Bowl at Santa Clara. I don't think the Lions will be a number 1 seed. So I think their 27th playoff game is going to be in the NFC Championship game in the 28th playoff game at the stadium of the 49ers, possibly against Joseph Burrow. It's Joseph, that's 28. Josh Allen's another one that I like. Allen is 28. So those are the two possible opponents if you are Coach Dan Campbell. But the Lions are going to get the 12 playoff wins, in my view, to face off against Joe Burrow. And this kind of coincides with, a potential Mets Tigers World Series. And he's 2-2, 5-2, 5-3. Well, like Bay Area. So this is the inside scoop of Dan Campbell and the Lions making it to the Super Bowl. 91 prior seasons in Detroit until they win the conference title. Detroit is 91. What season would this be at Ford Field? So, 2008 was their 75th season since moving to Detroit. There's an Ohio connection with the Bengals. They came from Portsmouth, Ohio. So 2008 season was the year of Super Bowl 43, and we are entering the year of Super Bowl 60. So their 75th season since moving to Detroit. So 2008 was their 79th season in the National Football League. So this is their 96th season. Okay. It's Cincinnati's 96 too. This is just a breakdown of the opponent. Cincinnati's 96, and then Josh Allen's also Camacho 96. So a third team in there, Baltimore Ravens 96. So this is tying in the championship number with the year that the Lions do end up going to the Super Bowl, and the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers and the Lions both going to play in championship series. It doesn't mean they're going to win. There's obviously multiple combinations. They could both lose the series. They could both win championships, or one team wins and the other loses. So, but at the end of the day, they're definitely going to be playing the World Series in the Super Bowl in my view.